How are you coming along? I am better. Well, welcome. Again, how are you coming along? I am better. Well, what are we going to talk about today? What y'all talking about? Well, I think we need to have a conversation about having somewhere to live. Now, disclaimer, this is my opinion, so please help me understand. You have somewhere to live, however, the rent might be going up. However, you want to change your working situation in your life, and your dog or cat is not welcome. So, how do you decide what you want to do with your animal? Are you going to do housing over animal, or are you going to find a way to put yourself first and allow yourself housing opposed to not having housing because of your animal? Now, I know I am not pet friendly, but I know that pets have allowed people to keep their mental health in order. So please help me understand how people are choosing animal over housing. I know it's a sensitive subject, so we must have the discussion about housing over animal. Because the reality of it is, in these times when you live in a major city, everything is rising. So I think one needs to humble themselves, and we all live together. But we cannot accommodate your animal. So one solution is to volunteer at your local animal place. Another solution is to find someone that have animals, and you can assist them with their animals with the love and the etc. that you receive from your animal. So, housing over animal. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, this is my opinion. And again, I just want to help others understand the importance of housing over animal. Because here I am knowing several people that are choosing housing over animal. At what point do you realize you can no longer afford your animal? Why? Because of the choices you have made in the past. I'm not saying what should or could or not, but we come to different roads in our life where we have to make the decision. Housing over animal. And I'm just going to say this. Hmm. what's really going on? What's really going on? So I know that several people have explained to me, and I get it. But at what point are the dog, cat, or whatever animal will realize that because of this, your housing is jeopardized? Let's talk about it. Mind obstacles. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I know it's a subject that people don't want to talk about. But I was recently told one of my family members went to a funeral. And this lady, she passed away, and she was only like 30 something. And she had 2 dogs. She served her country, and she had 2 dogs. And the dogs was at the funeral. But the dogs would be taken care of by another family member in another state. And all I'm saying to say that is the dog will pass away, the owner will pass away, and again, I'm just using dog for example. It could be any animal. We all gonna leave this earth because it's an event that will happen. So at some point in time, you guys are gonna be apart. So how are you gonna deal with that? So therefore, if it's your housing and your animal, why can't we make that decision now? Why do we have to make the decision when the animal dies? To maybe not get another animal because it's necessarily not affordable to us. But anyway, again, housing or animal? Housing or animal? Housing or animal? Well, human or animal, actually. Okay, let's make the decisions that's going to work for us. And another thing, for people that are not pet friendly, you're not going to make them understand because they didn't have that experience with you and your animal. But we can come to agreement whether you have the money to continue with an animal. Because if your housing is jeopardized because of an animal, what you gonna do? As a matter of fact, I was talking to an old coworker, and they were saying about how during the pandemic they were given 3-day notices because some people was not paying their rent, but they had applied to this program for the rent to be paid because their income was jeopardized, or they got sick during this pandemic. But the people were moving, talking about, well, I'm just gonna go live with so and so, and I'm just gonna live in my car, I'm just gonna live in my tent, I'm just gonna do this and that. But the reality of it is, be patient. Stop and come up with a plan. Use the resources you have. Don't give up. You know, we can come together and figure it out, but you got to be open. And I know some people's mind is not even going to allow them to be open, but that's when the family comes in to set the boundaries. Okay? Because a lot of pets are now abandoned because, I mean, people had to make the decision, housing over animal. So, anyway, I just wanted to come on here and say what y'all talking about. Because, you know, as I move forward with my life trauma, it'll all work out, but we're just having conversations. And we're learning as we go. Life lessons. Enjoy your joy.